Welcome back to Will, A Wonderful World. Last time, our two... I guess these are the two very clearly female identifying leads that we have. They finally got to interact with each other, in a sense. Who knows when on the timeline any of them are. But we still haven't figured out how to keep Youngmin and Baekya from dying. And hopefully, these letters will tell us how.
是不是我做错了什么？
Li Wen screwed something up.
Carlos, te extraño.
Oh. Oh my. Circus Reek. So it looks like Carlos and Li Wen and Alicia are tied again. Having this little thing cut off, branch out, is interesting. I'm not sure if that signifies anything different, or if it's just like a handy way to like if it's an alternate timeline or something, or if it's just a handy way to keep things from getting too cluttered on one line. I'm actually very concerned about Alicia, because we learned from Carlos about human sticks. And how the human sticks were sold as circus freaks. So let's go follow up with Alicia and make sure she's not being turned into a human stick. I picked a random bottle from hundreds of bottles of fine wine in an underground wine cellar and put it on a luxurious short table in front of the old man. He nodded with approval and popped the cork. The bright red liquid was poured into an exquisite-looking wine glass. It was swirling and glistening like flowing ruby. So I do want to say, at this point, I've gotten the idea that Will is not a horror game, which is great. I really do hate how horror this music is, though. Especially with red wine. With a twisted old man who likes testing drugs on humans. This totally isn't Resident Evil 8. Drink it. Drink it. Drink it. I was standing next to him. Sweat was pouring out of my forehead. I had mixed all of the sleeping pills I had stolen into the bottle. It would guarantee a nice nap if he would just drink one glass. Then I should be able to escape from his bedroom window. And I could finally escape this hellhole forever. Money Jia's lips had already touched the glass when the housekeeper knocked on the door and informed him that there was a visitor. A man with only one arm was sitting on the sofa in the living room. A couple of tall, muscular bodyguards were standing behind him, ready for instructions from their boss. I had never seen Manija act like such a spineless weasel before. He had the most cowardly smile on his face. He seemed determined to lower himself as much as possible in front of the one-armed man. The man yawned and grabbed the bottle of the flavored wine on the table. Was he going to drink it? Oh no. If he fell asleep, my whole plan would be exposed. And if that should happen, I had to get out, now! I quietly took a few steps back, looking for an opportunity to sneak out of the room. The one-armed man raised the bottle to his nose, sniffed, poured the wine out. knocked over the glass. He grabbed the old man towards himself by the collar. The one-armed man wiped his nose on Manija's collar. "You pathetic little prick! You dare try to drug me with sleeping pills?" Manija was shot in the face by the one-armed man before he could utter a word. As soon as the boss was dead, Ja's bodyguards immediately dropped their weapons and surrendered. All of the other servants and maids, including me, were running towards the nearest exits in a panic. Everyone wanted to get out of there as soon as they could. People were screaming, running into and falling over each other. It was total chaos. However, they didn't intend to let anyone leave here alive. I felt a sharp pain in my left leg when I was only one turn away from the back door. I fell to the floor. Blood was oozing out of the wound in my ankle. I felt the cold barrel of a gun pushing against my forehead. I knew that if I moved even a little, another hole would appear there. Wait. The one-armed man walked over the body of the housekeeper and stopped in front of me. He pushed his man's gun away from my head. This one was pretty. Send her to the auction house. I thought that it had been the Lord's blessing that had allowed me to survive. I thought that I had been at least more fortunate than the ones that had died. Never would I have imagined that, soon, I would be sold to a freak show circus in Southeast Asia. I would have my arms and legs cut off. I would be hung in a cage like a stick and fed by people like an animal. Just for exhibition. Heavenly Father, why wouldn't you save me? I take it back. This is a horror game after all. It sounds like Alicia had a run-in with Mr. Lin, the one-armed leader of the whatever gang it is that Carlos has joined again. The Black Dragon Gang, I think? It's been a while since we've been with Carlos. And they did exactly to her what Carlos has heard they have done. Turned her into a human stick. I was really hoping that wasn't the case when I clicked this letter. Clearly what we're gonna do to help Alicia is keep her from being turned into a human stick. But it also makes me kind of concerned now. Because remember that Carlos showed a picture of Alicia to Mr. Lin. And that was how he got introduced to the gang. But before we can help Alicia, we gotta see what's going on with Li Wen. So let's take a look. Oh! Oh no, they're not connected! My mistake. Great, let's help Alicia right now. Yeah, okay, these are the only 3 things that we can do. Either way, the glass is going to get knocked over, it's going to get knocked over and wine's going to be poured out. But what if the wine got poured out because the glass was knocked over? So only the wine in the glass was poured out. I'm also going to go ahead and move Money Ja's sudden close encounter up to the top to see if that does anything. Because we can't really stop, presumably, Mr. Lin from sniffing. You pathetic little prick. You dare try to drug me with sleeping pills? He stuffed the bottle inside of Money Jiao's mouth and forced a wine down his throat. The liquid that overflowed from his mouth turned his shirt to the same bright red color. It was her. She did it. He raised his trembling arm and pointed at me. I turned around and ran. But I couldn't outrun the bullet. Blood was oozing out of the center of my forehead, turning the white velvet carpet to a bright red color. But unlike the wine, it was a bewitching kind of red. Carlos, I miss you so much. Yeah, that didn't work out well. Because at this point, I'm pretty sure I've tried all the permutations. Let's take a look. Oh! Oh! That is all I can do. That's all I can do. It looks like the S ending I got for Alicia last time wasn't the best ending either. So that's probably something I'm going to want to mess around with and see. So that maybe I don't get this. I can't believe this is a full star. So this does seem like these are alternate timelines, knowing that then. Let's see if I can do something with Li Wen. And see if that takes me any further in helping the Korean cop duo. We're gonna have to change this. At 19, auctioned off to someone in Southeast Asia via the Black Dragon Gang. Missing ever since. We're definitely gonna have to change that. Anyway. Sunday afternoon. The sun was warm and the smell of flowers was dancing in the early summer wind. I was standing in front of the exhibition center, waiting nervously. A few days ago, Mr. Wen had fainted in his apartment due to exhaustion. Fortunately, I had found him in time. Otherwise, the consequences would have been inconceivable. He had given me a ticket to the art exhibition today as a thank you. I had been so excited when I got the ticket that I had forgotten to ask if it was the only ticket he had. Or would he be coming too? Girl, I have played the dating teacher route in Tokimeki Memorial Girls' side. This is a study date. It is a study session. He will only accept homework from you. Until at the end of the game, when you graduate, oh shit, you're a senior, you're gonna graduate. It also happened to be my birthday. Oh. It also happened to be my birthday. I had not celebrated my birthday in years, but I specifically put on my favorite dress before I left my apartment. As a matter of fact, I had never heard of the exhibition's artist. To be better prepared, I had visited dozens of bookstores just to find a book of his collection. Even as late as last night, I had been looking up his work online, and I hadn't gone to bed until it was almost daytime. I had set 7 alarms just to make sure that I wouldn't oversleep. At 1 p.m., the show had officially started. The line was getting shorter, but I still hadn't seen Mr. Wen. I took out my phone and hesitated, wondering whether or not to text him. Eventually, I decided not to. Another hour had passed. I couldn't stop myself anymore, and I sent him a text. The art show today is really cool. Thank you so much for the ticket, Mr. Wen. I'm in the gift shop near the north entrance right now. They have a lot of cute little things here. Are you coming today too, Mr. Wen? Another hour had passed. It started to drizzle. I sent him a text. Wait, did you even go in the art exhibition? Or were you just waiting for him this entire time? It's raining. Remember to bring an umbrella with you if you're heading out, Mr. Wen. I wandered near the entrance, but I didn't want to walk too far away. Another hour had passed. There's a book signing at the west entrance right now. I just bought an art collection book. I think it's going to be sold out soon. Mr. Wen, would you like me to buy you a copy? Another hour had passed. Mr. Wen, I'm about to head back. Thank you again. I waited until 5 o'clock and he never showed up. Perhaps he only had 1 ticket in the first place. It was my fault for assuming too much. The rain had turned from a drizzle to a downpour. I walked home alone without an umbrella. I couldn't tell if it was because of the rain, but I cried. Okay, we're going to romance angle, aren't we? I'm not sure what to call Li Wen's problem here. Was she stood up on a date that wasn't a date? I hope she actually had gone in and like gone to the exhibition. And like actually explored it, because that's a waste otherwise. Anyway. I don't think there are any obvious leads by reading this letter. In this story, how does the difference between the west entrance and the north entrance have an impact on the result? If this is going to be a comedic, oh, we were at the wrong entrances thing, I'm going to be peeved. Judging from this letter alone, you're right. We're unable to tell how they'll impact the ending yet. But I would still encourage you to give it a try by switching their positions. Maybe then you'll see the effects in the new ending. Sometimes you won't know for sure without trying. So you mean that the clues might not just be in the original letters, but they might also be hidden inside the other endings that we unlock? Didn't we go over this back with Chung Gil-min having an unsolvable thing until we figured out Kanbekia's situation? I'm pretty sure we did. That's exactly right. Am I still being tutorialized? Well, that text sounds like it's a suggestion too. to move that around. So I'm going to say like the running theme is another hour had passed, right? So that's why this is these are their individual blocks. What was the original order? Oh, okay. Let's move the rain to the end. And for this one, it says she's wandered near the entrance. So let's put that early on. So she's going to be start at the west entrance, then go to the north entrance, because she started in the north entrance and then went to the west entrance. It was just past 5 o'clock. A garbage truck had a sudden flat tire on the road outside the north entrance. There was garbage everywhere. The staff of the exhibition center all put on their raincoats and ran down the stairs to pick up the trash. I decided to go and help out since I wasn't doing anything anyway. Lots of people walked by and took pictures of me with their phones. I struck a pose cooperatively with a victory gesture. Look at me! I'm the guardian of the environment! Sir Spotty! It was already 7 o'clock when we were finally done, and the exhibition had been over for a while by then. My phone's battery had run out. In the end, I didn't see him. I took off the Sir Spotty mascot costume and gave it back to the staff member at the west entrance. Wait, when did she put on the costume? I'm confused. The staff member who had to take off earlier for an upset stomach kept thanking me. Did I sequence break? He said that if he hadn't found the stand-in before 4 p.m., he would have lost his year-end bonus. I think I sequence broke and we got Tama. I definitely sequence broke. Okay, so at 5 o'clock, at the north entrance, there's garbage. So 1 p.m. This is 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. What if I put the drizzle first? Maybe he caught a really bad cold from not bringing an umbrella. Or maybe not. I waited until 5 o'clock, and he never showed up. When was this mentioned? I took off the Sir Spotty mascot costume and gave it back to the staff member at the west entrance. Okay. Rank D. So we were not the hero of the environment. I guess I'm gonna have to try and figure out when Li Wen comes across the staff who needs a sudden replacement. But for the hell of it, I'm going to have her go back first. Oh. Nope. What if she doesn't put on the costume at all? If that staff member is at the west entrance, then we'll put the west entrance at the very end. This makes no sense, but let's do that. Let's keep that up there on the top. "6 o'clock. The rain had turned from a drizzle to a downpour. I was still standing at the entrance, waiting. The exhibition was over. My phone's battery had run out. People were coming out of the exhibition center and raising their umbrellas. There were more and more umbrellas around me. Everyone's face was hidden behind one. I was slowly swallowed in an ocean of umbrellas, and I couldn't even see the road outside anymore. I crouched down. The rain kept falling. I couldn't tell if it was because of the rain, but I cried." Is her good ending that she sees, Mr. Wen? Let's see how many endings I have. Okay, just 2 more endings to go. S and C, probably. Maybe we'll have the gift shop after she's about to leave. Oh, no, I didn't ask for hints. I'm going to do this. I'm a lunatic. I am probably going to end up like fast forwarding past this. Okay, well, that was a random crapshoot. I just moved the north entrance to 2 p.m., west entrance to 3 p.m. But we have a different ending. 6 o'clock. The rain had turned from a drizzle to a downpour. I was still in the Sir Spotty mascot costume, standing at the entrance. My phone's battery had run out. The exhibition was over. People were coming out of the exhibition center. Thank you so much for today. You can get out the costume now. Again, you saved my life today. The staff member who had taken takeoff earlier for an upset stomach kept thanking me. He said if he hadn't found the stand-in, he would have lost his year-end bonus. I was just about to pull the mascot head off when someone bumped into me. I couldn't see anything with the head on. I only knew that I was falling down the stairs. Ouch! 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 I finally stopped at the bottom of the stairs. I suspected that every bone in my body had been broken. I was sure that I must have looked pathetic, with the mud plastered all over myself. Are you okay? The voice sounded familiar, but I couldn't be sure because of the sound from the heavy rainfall. A powerful hand grabbed my arm and pulled me up. I took the mascot head off in a hurry. I saw in front of me that same casual outfit. He raised an umbrella over my head, but his shoulders were getting wet. We ordered 2 cups of hot cocoa from the cafe on the first floor of the exhibition center and sat at the table next to the window. Well, now we know why this is the best ending for Li Wen. She got her chocolate milk. The rain had become so heavy that we couldn't leave, but I was feeling like the luckiest girl on earth. He told me that the exhibition was organized for a friend of his. He didn't know I was still here until he had seen the text just a little while ago. There had been too many people at the entrance when he arrived, and he wouldn't have been able to find me if I hadn't been so eye-catching. So, it was his friend's exhibition. he hadn't planned to come with me. Lightning suddenly flashed outside the window and all of the lights went out in the cafe. A waiter came over to apologize. He lit up a candle and placed it on our table. The outside view became clearer now that it was darker inside. He turned and looked outside the window towards the blurry greenish mountain far away. He suddenly changed the subject. That mountain is called Shuanglong Mountain. In weather like this, you can see the most beautiful rainbow in the mountains when the rain stops. Have you ever painted it? I remembered the paintings in his apartment. The rainbow in his painting must be even more beautiful than the real one. But he shook his head. The most beautiful views can only live on in memories. I could see the candlelight flickering in his eyes. It was supposed to be the color of warmth, but I couldn't sense any temperature. A voice suddenly surfaced from deep within my heart, and it was overcoming my own self-control. Couldn't stop myself from blurting out the question. Mr. Wen, may... Do you want to go home now? Sorry, I forgot. It is pretty late. Mr. Wen took his eyes away from the mountain, gave me an apologizing look, and reached for the umbrella next to our seats. No, not that. Could I get a picture with you? What the hell was I talking about? I pulled out my phone in a hurry, but then I realized that the battery had run out quite a while ago. How embarrassing. I wanted to crawl into a hole. Mr. Wen took out his own phone instead and handed it to a waiter passing by. I held on to the cup of cocoa nervously and smiled like an idiot. 1, 2, 3, cheese! Let's take another one. Young lady, get a little closer to your boyfriend, please. What? Boyfriend? You don't understand! I mean, really! Before I could explain, the waiter had taken another picture. I turned my head towards him. He was so close. The first thing I did when I finally got home was plug in my phone. As soon as I turned it back on, I received a text from Mr. Wen. It was a photo. Later, I bought a brand new photo album. I printed the photo out and put it in the first page. It was the best birthday gift I had ever gotten. I actually forgot it was her birthday. So we did get Li Wen's best ending after all. It was important to have her at the west entrance before 4 p.m. so that she was in the Sir Spotty costume. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure what makes the difference other than having this before 4 p.m. Like, the sequence of text makes sense. I'm just not sure why this was the magic thing. Maybe if I think about it, I will figure out the logic. For now, I suppose it was only a matter of time for this to become a love story. It was just a matter of when. remember to dislike, boo in the comments, and unsubscribe. But doing those 2 letters gave us another letter in our mailbox. I should have known that it wasn't connected because I didn't see the line. I just made the assumption. And it looks like what I will be doing is trying to get another ending for Alicia, so that she won't have to be turned into a human stick. That's for in between, and next time we have just 1 letter from good old Jimmy. Now that's someone we definitely haven't heard from in a while. Well, we haven't heard from Mr. Wen in the longest while. Something that I am curious about now that I know this is a possibility, this alternate timeline, is wondering if I should perhaps be holding back on getting all the stars, if that prevents me from seeing maybe some extra letters. Seriously, what the hell do I do here? They're not great and locked out. I need to know what's going on with Kangbekya. And so do you. But we will find that out. Probably not next time. Sometime down the line. But for now, have a good night. May you not be captured to become a circus freak. And remember that if you end up dating your teacher, he only wants homework as a birthday present. We'll see you next time.